Hello, I'm Starfrog, and I'm a console player. Are you a new player that's just playing on console, or just picked up a controller and you want to learn how to play with it? Well, this video is for you. Let's stop with the delay, let's get on with the guide. The first tip for console players is turn off all graphical items in the game. What I mean by this is go to your settings and turn on everything off in display. It will increase your FPS to a 6 at a constant 60, and I suggest turn on basic skins because that's one less thing the game has to render for you. Another tip that's also in settings is to change your crosshair settings. For this, you have to have a laptop or a phone that you can use to change it, because if you're on console, if you go to settings, you can't see it, it's not there, there's no crosshair color. You can see the FOV, but it doesn't give you the option to use it. When changing your crosshair color, find a color that stands out to you. Don't go using my crosshair as that may not help you. What's a color that stands out to your eyes the most? And now with your FOV or your field of vision, you can choose either between 70 or up to 120 FOV. If you play other any FPS games, I suggest using an FOV that you use on that game, as you won't have to adjust to Arsenal's FOV. So make sure to use your laptop or your phone to change your crosshair color and your FOV, because you're not able to do that on console. So the next thing you have to do is learn your controls. Your top left joystick is to move, your bottom left joystick is to move the camera, A is to jump, B is to look at the tab, X is to reload, and Y you can use your emote. But we are in competitive, so we are not able to use emotes. Your shoulder buttons LB and RB, which I'm doing right now, you can use to switch from your gun to your knife and back to your gun. For me, I use RB to change from my gun to my knife. If you want to use the other shoulder pad, that's fine too. It's up to you. It's your prerogative. Your 3 bar buttons is for you to look at the player list, who is on here, and you can also change the settings, your camera sensitivity, and leave the game. Your 2 window button menu is to look at the menu navigator and to go back to menu. And you can use D-pads on your controller, or you can use your top right joystick to move and navigate the menu. Also with D-pad, as we said earlier, you can inspect your weapon using any of them. Any of the D-pads, D-pad up, down, left, or right. The next step is find a sensitivity that fits you. Now for me, I play on what am I on 4? The next step for you to do is find a sensitivity that fits for you. Now for me, I play on 5 bars, which is 1 sensitivity. If you have 1, it's 1.6, and I don't remember as you go down, I don't remember the increment going and using 5, as this may be a bit too fast for you. Try 3 or 4 sensitivity, because that's what I started out with, and I was able to nail shots easily. I was able to use hit scan weapons easily, and I think it would work well for you, as that will work well for me first, or you can be a rebel and go for 5 first. Be my guest. Now let's move on to the game aspect as you're in the game. As you just saw right there, you can move faster using your knife. So to switch your knife, press LB and RB like I mentioned earlier, and you can use this to move faster. And now to move even faster with your knife, you can press A to jump. Now don't go and spam A, as that will slow you down like this. It will slow you down, you won't be able to travel around the map as fast. As you're running with your knife, jump, wait a few seconds, then jump again. Now, if you see my videos, I do a secret technique that I'm not telling anybody, because Fusion Boys told me that, and if I do that, I'm going to die. I call it the shoulder button tactic. What I do is I quickly switch from my knife and press A mid-jump. Then I press the shoulder button again, so I'm back on the ground. And once I peek the corner, I can shoot with my gun on the ground. So I'm going to start here on an assault. I'm gonna jump with my knife, and then once I hit the ground, I'm back on my feet. Like this, and once you peek the corner, shoot person, dead. See how fast I'm moving when I'm doing that? That's what you guys can do too. It's pretty easy once you get it nailed down, and I think you guys will be able to do it as well. Once you guys nail it down at least. It takes practice. Practice makes perfect, everybody. And now, since we have the railgun, let's go on to the next point. Looking out for blue and red dots. Now when you scope in, you see the blue dot on your screen. Everybody else can see that too, like my friend here. Let's go to my friend. Now watch, I'm going to scope in on them. See, there's like a blue dot. Everybody else can see that too. They can see it too on their screen as well. Now what you want to do, you want to avoid this. Now, let's say I can spot them, let's say right here. If you see a blue dot waving across your screen right there, you see it? If you see it, go away from it. Try to run away from it, as they're going to try to headshot you. Any of the weapons have a scope. If it has a usable scope, use it. Like the railgun, the G11, Mo's and Nagant. Any of those scoped in weapons, try to use the scope. Now let's go into the next part, knowing your targets. Who should you kill first? Who is going to kill you first? Now let's say I advance up here with, let's say I have the railgun, which is a pretty good weapon. Well, actually, let me reset. Now let's just say I'm approaching this person up here with the Scar H, and whoa, they have a sniper. There's a guy with a machine gun right there. Who do you think I should go for first? Honestly, because they're both gonna be looking at me, even though they are right there, they could most likely miss their shot as it takes a while to chamber in the gun and reload the gun. So I'm gonna go shoot the guy right there, then switch weapons, boom, kill him. Now, what I usually do is I make the common mistake of shooting this guy first and then not enough reaction time to kill that person right there. So try not to make the same mistakes that I do. Now here's a pro tip coming from the pro player for you, from a console player. Use auto reload. If you watch my videos, you see that I use auto reload all the time. That if I have them on, I have to press X all the time, and sometimes I don't like pressing X all the time. Now when you're reloading with, say, like a weapon like this, and then you go to reload, it kind of takes off half your screen. Like, what's up with the auto bow as well? It will take off half your screen, it'll cover your crosshair. That's one of the cons of using auto reload. But trust me, using auto reload really saves you lots of time, and that's one less button you have to press. Trust me, you'll love auto reload, just like Band-Aids. Another thing you should do is go for headshots. Let me show you why you should always go for headshots. Oh, did they patch it? Let me look. If you go a bit closer, you see 70 headshot. You don't even have to aim close to their head to get a headshot. Kind of like on, I'm pretty sure we don't have the same hitboxes as PC still, so if I aim right there. So always try to go for headshots as they are mostly one shot and they can help you win a battle. And you can also win endgames faster with it too. Here's one thing I think you should know too. You can double, with all the double barrel, so DB shotgun and the DB, you can dump like this. Kind of like TF2, but it's pretty cool. Something you should know. Now there's one thing I think you should know about projectiles. Projectiles have been nerfed tremendously, where if you say you walk forward and you try to jump, it will try to hold you in place like that. And when you use a projectile, you go in the way your camera moves. So if you look down and jump up sometimes, you will go forward, and if you do this, it'll sometimes get you in the air. So you have to do that to go around faster. But I do not recommend doing this as it kind of slows you down. When you're doing stuff like explosives, turn sensitivity up a bit, flick, boom. How do you counteract bouncing off a object? What happens when you bounce off an object? You bounce off an object like that, and how do you stop yourself? Let's say you bounce off an object, you go in the opposite way that you're going. So let's say you're going forward, you can stop yourself by pulling back on your joystick. And you can also stay in place by crouching as well. That also works too, to stop yourself from falling off an edge, like on Dizzy or on Glacier. Now with some weapons there is a special ability. We like to call it the LT ability. With the LT ability, you can get some cool stuff. You can rev up the minigun, you can use the YouTube on the M16A1, which I think it is. If it's wrong, I'll correct myself. And you can use LT to scope in as well. When you use the Pepper and the Peacemaker, with the LT ability, you can shoot a bit faster like an automatic weapon. And so, let's take the stake launcher for example. I can press this button, and it gives it a special ability. We pop that in, boom, it sparkles, and watch this. Instant one shot. Without that, it's a 2-shot, but with that, it was a 1-shot. Use special abilities as they may help you in your battle. If there's one thing you should know, some guns have splash damage, like the EM249. If we shoot to the side, just a bit, it does splash damage. Now, don't try to go to their feet every single time, still try to hit them in the body. I hope you guys found this informative. Make sure to like and subscribe so that more console players can see this one too. The more console players that see this, the more I can help them out, and all that. And if are some things that I missed, make sure to put it down in the comments below, because I do miss a lot of stuff as I have a small brain. And if you see me in game, make sure to say hi. I love seeing people who watch my videos. So stop by, make sure to say hi, don't be shy to talk to me. And yeah.